Because this piece is so shiny, I needed to add a layer of Dixie Belle Slick Stick.
Welcome to the Pick and Boots Facebook page. My name is Shannon, and I'm coming to you live from sunny Southwest Florida. I was supposed to go live with Would You Bend, however, they're having technical difficulties on their end. We tried to reschedule, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this project, and we'll do another project down the road. But let's start with this here. I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing. This is a gorgeous wardrobe that I've already put some slick stick on it because it was very shiny, very slick, so I wanted to make sure what I'm doing on here is going to stay. And then I went ahead and put a little bit, one more coat of just white paint here. I used the White Cap by Dixie Belle and the silk paint. And I did that because what I'm going to put on it, I wanted to make sure it comes out bright. Hey, Julie. Um, this is what I'm going to be doing. Look at this. This is the Decoupage Queen. This is the Gothic Angel. Look how beautiful she is. We're going to be putting her on here. This is going to be, I can't wait. I'm so excited. That's why I'm supposed to be doing this, with the Would You Bend, but I'm too excited, so I have to do it now. I'll do something else with them when they get all their, the lady that I'm going with, her internet is down. That's why there's the problem. So, I do have my Would You Bend already on. I have them on a griddle, so they're warm, they're ready to go. But the first step we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the paper on. Now, rice paper is a little bit different than decoupage paper because the rice paper is thick, it's good quality, and you're not going to rip it when you're putting your decoupage medium on. So today I'm going to be using Mod Podge. And you can use clear coat, you can use whatever type of clear coat of the brand of paint you use, but I'm just going to use Mod Podge. I seem to have good results with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a thin line across the top and get the paint or get the rice paper to adhere and then go down a little bit as we go. So I'm just going to put it on here. Now it is curved here, so I want to make sure that I get the rice paper into and around the groove. I want to give it a nice layer. I don't want to put too much on, but I want to make sure I have enough so the paper does stick. If I put too much on, you can tend to get some wrinkles. One good thing about rice paper is rice paper doesn't wrinkle as much as regular decoupage paper. Okay, I'm kind of making a mess here. It's dripping, but that's okay. We'll clean that up. So let's go. I'm starting in the middle, and then I'm going to push my way out because I have to go around the curve. And I'm praying she is straight. Or straight-ish will work for me. Ooh, she's way off. Let's see. We'll know when we get over here. Now, the good thing about the rice paper, because it's so thick, if you need to, while your decoupage medium is still wet, you can actually pick it up and move it. All right. Ooh. What do you think so far? Beautiful, right? Okay, now that I got the top part on, I can go back and I can start putting more. I want to do it in sections so I make sure that I get it to be straight. Oops. I do have a keyhole here. I'm going to make sure I don't get any glue around that because I'll probably just peel the paper off of there when I do this. Since I already have the paper on pretty good on the top, I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge all the rest of the way down and put my paper on. If I do have a little bit of drips, it's okay because this will dry clear and I will be painting over it. I just want to make sure I get a nice coverage because I want to make sure that my rice paper stays on forever. If you guys could see the floor. Any questions, Michelle, on there? No? Okay. If you're watching, type in the comments, let me know where you're watching from. Ooh. Oh, is it? Well, I want her face on here. I don't want it to be where her face is on the crinkle. That's why. This will all be blended, so you won't even tell where the paper is. That's one thing that I did. When you get the rice papers, you're going to notice that it's totally square. You can either cut, it comes with a white frame around it. You can either cut the white frame. I chose to wet the edges and tear it because that'll give me an uneven edge. See my uneven edge? That makes it easier when you want to blend your paint because this is not going to be white. This is all going to be blended together with these colors, so you won't even be able to tell where my paper was or is. Okay. I noticed there's a spot missing in here. I just want to make sure I get it before. There you go. There we go. And I'm just going to push it in very lightly with my brush. I forget how long this paper is. I needed to come down just a little bit more. Feels like it's, hold on. There we go. Straighten that out. Well, I hope so. Julie, yes, I'm going to be able to open the door. After I get the paper on, I have a razor blade that I'm going to splice it. So now, normally what I do is I take my brayer, and then I just kind of roll it just to make sure that the paper and the glue and the wood all stick together, gets out any wrinkles, bubbles, etc. Now, if you do come to a part that maybe you've missed some glue or some of your Mod Podge, you can take a little needle and squish it in and it will work just fine. I think I missed a little section right here. And put a little bit more on. There we go. Oh, now I just tore it just a little bit because I had a lot of Mod Podge there and I pushed a little too hard. But that's not going to matter because I'm going to be blending this with paint and you're not even going to see it. There we go. Perfect. My brayer. Wait to see what I'm going to put on here next. I am going to need your help. I have two different things ready to go. I have a little griddle going. Normally you take your wood you bends and you heat them up. A lot of people will use their heat gun, but I like to use a griddle so they're always ready to go. So for this top piece, this top part, I have two different moldings that I want to choose from. Let me show you what they are. So the first one is this one. Here's this one, and I've already got it heated, so look, see, it'll bend, and it's going to go up here like this. So here's option 1, this one here. I hope you can see the top of the screen. I can't really tell from my camera angle. So that's option 1. Now keep in mind, this is all going to be blended. It's going to be dark and it's going to be yellow, and this will be black. Or, now I really kind of like this one, but you're going to have to let me know. Look at this one. Ouch, it's a little hot. How cute is this one? And putting her right up here. Look, she bends because she's heated. Putting her right up on top. What do you think? So we have 2. I really like this one. Let's see what it says. Does foam rollers work for spreading the glue? Sure, but you won't get as much glue on your foam roller. So I think I like this one, but I'm going to put this down for a second. So those are my 2 options for the top. Now the bottom, you can't really see, but this is what I'm going to put on the bottom, this big one here. And like again, it's already heated, so it'll bend. The beautiful thing about the would you bends, thanks Judy, I like your idea, is that they do, look, see they bend. So this wardrobe is curved, so I can curve it so it'll sit nicely on the brown part of the wardrobe. Would You Bend is a great company. They have all different sizes, shapes of these moldings. They're made out of sawdust, and then you just heat them up and you use them. Okay, so let me zoom out so you can see more of the bottom. Can you see more of the bottom? Yeah, it's still can't really see the bottom as much as I had hoped, but we're going to start with the top. I see one person that said, oh, capital letters, definitely the cherub. Yes, I like it. Let's see, can I see who said that? Yes, Julie. Thanks, Julie. I think I like the cherub too. So let's put the cherub on. This is how I put my would you bends on. You can do them any way you want. What I like to do is I'll take them when they're hot. And let me grab my glue. I keep going off camera because I have my table over here that has everything. I'm going to put on just some regular old wood glue. And I'm saturating the bottom. See the bottom? Because, whoops. Part of the cherub, the angel lady, is going to be sticking up above. I'm making a mess here. Above the top of the wardrobe. But, so I just want to make sure I really have the glue on this part. Let's see, I need a baby wipe. Always keep baby wipes handy. They are so helpful. Now, I'm going to put it on the top. But one other step, what I do is I use a pin nailer. You get them at Home Depot. They're like $30. Staples and pin nails. I glue it on, and then I pin nail it in place. I don't have to worry about it coming off. You can also, if you don't have a pin nailer, you can just use some painter's tape. So I'm just going to hold it here for a minute, and I can't really see if it's straight. Oh, Michelle, will you help me and see if this is straight in the middle? I'm asking Michelle to come help. Does that look good? That goes good. That more? Yeah, just a hair. That better? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, so okay, my other right. So I'm gonna hold it here for a minute while it bends, cools off, and kind of takes the shape. And then in 1 second, I'm going to give it a couple pin nails. Yep. One, two, three. There. Now I don't have to hold it in place. It's there. It'll dry, and you won't even notice the pin nails, and it's more secure. But look how beautiful that is. Let me step back and take a peek. Oh yeah. All right. So while I did that, I'd slipped a little bit, and some wood glue came down here. Let me just get that off. Okay, and just to let you know, this, as of yesterday, was broken into like 5 pieces. I did surgery, I put it back together. That's the beauty of these wood you bends. You heat them up, you glue them, and they go right back together. You wouldn't even have been able to tell that she fell apart. I'll be creating a little, I took pictures and videos. I'll have it on my TikTok and a reel probably within the next couple of days. I'm always looking for stuff to put on there. Anyway, let's talk about the bottom piece now. Here's this one. This gorgeous big one. I love, love, love. Look at this. Now this one is really intricate. It's huge. They are not that cheap, but they're worth every penny. So let me put some glue on this one. And then we're going to stick it on the same way. Let it mold around the front of the wardrobe. My floors are destroyed. And I'm going to try to do this a little bit fast, just so I want to make sure that my wood bend stays warm so it does conform around the curved edge of the wardrobe. Okay, so I'm going to put it on and then I'm going to pin nail it. And I don't think you can really see in the camera, can you? I'm going to put it right and pray that that's centered. Michelle, will you come look and just tell me? Does it look okay? Or does it look this way? Okay. Thank you. It's kind of hard to see when you get up close, but when you step further back, you can see it. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this here for a minute. Can you see that on camera or no? Yeah. Yeah, if you maybe just lean it down, that'd be great, just so they can see. Yeah, just lean it towards me. There we go. So see how pretty that looks? Look at that. It's a nice big carved molding. And who knows, I may add other ones, but for right now, I'm going to leave it on these ones. And I'm going to go ahead and pin nail it. I'm going to put a few extra ones in this one because this one is a bigger molding. There we go. Now it is on and it is not going to go anywhere. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so now we are going to do a coat of paint. It's going to take 2 coats because with the blending and everything, I need to get a base coat down and then I'm going to blend around it. So today what I'll do is I'll probably just add the base coat and then I'll let you know when I'm going to do the rest. Probably maybe tomorrow or maybe next week, but I'll do an event like I did for this one and I will let you know so you can watch it. So I need to paint and then I need to still put a coat of sealer on the outside. Before I do that coat of sealer though, I want to go ahead and I want to slice this because I want to do it when it's dry and not saturated on the top. So just my regular razor blade. And I'm just going to follow the line of the door. And I'm just going to lightly cut the paper. Instead of dragging all the way down, I'm just kind of poking at it little at a time because I do not want to tear this paper. Make sure I got all of this. And then we're going to go ahead and do the keyhole. Put the key in my pocket, I think. Yeah, here it is. Just going to cut a little hole here. Get my glasses so I can see. Pull this off. Look, here's the key. This is probably not the original key but it does work. So this is the key that when I bought this piece, it came with it. Ta-da! So now what I can do is I can take this and make this edge a little bit cleaner. And I can make sure that I have this all down, reglue that, and then I'll split this right here. But I just wanted to show you that, yes, it does open. And then one other thing is it does have a handle. This is what the handle looks like. It's just a round circular. And the hole is right here. So the handle will go right there. So, all right. So let's get started with some of the paint. So do you think I should just do the lighter color and then blend the black over it probably? Yeah. Okay, so as you guys know, I use Dixie Belle paint, and I'm going to be using a combination of, I'm going to start with the two lighter colors because I'll fan it around and then I'm going to come back in with the black. But for my first layer of paint, I'm going to start with what I have here. I have sawmill gravy and I have lemonade because these are the colors that are in the paper, or yeah, in the rice paper. So that one's ready to go. Let me get my lemonade. All right, so lemonade, and I'm using the Dixie Belle Oval Small Brush. I'm a big fan of the Dixie Belle brushes. They are expensive, but they work really well, and they are worth every penny. So I'm just going to kind of, just over the paper, I'm just going to go up and down. Just because I want to have a little bit of texture. And it's okay to go on the paper because you want it to blend in. You don't want to be able to see those creases in the lines. So I did that there, and now here I'm just going to paint. One thing about the Would You Bend moldings, if you know what color they're going to be, and it's going to be different than your underneath color, you can paint them before you heat them and before you put that on. They work perfectly well like that. So I'm just going to put this. All right, so I can't see if you can tell. So this color blends well with this one. So I'm going to be putting it, let me lock that back up. There we go. I'm not going to be putting it over here because there's not as much yellow. I'm going to use a different color for that. And I'm going to use a little bit down here. Again, I'm just pushing the first section that touches the rice paper, just kind of dabbing. And then I'm going to just paint a little bit of it because eventually it's going to go from light to dark. Oh, you can't see that in the camera. Yeah, I forget that the camera is not out all the way. So you can see where I see on this side of the paper, it's a lot lighter. So this lemonade color works. But over here, it's a darker color. So I'm going to use my base color as a darker color. And for this one, I chose Midnight Sky. If it's not quite dark enough, of course, I'll go to Caviar. But I just don't know until I get it on. So let's get it on. Of course, I have a stash of brushes handy. So I'm using, again, an oval small. And I'm just going to pounce it here over the line. So it kind of blends in with the paper. And then now I'm just going to paint a little bit of it. Again, this is just the base coat. Oh, you're going to, oh yeah, that's good. It's just the base coat. So there'll be more over it. Blending can be tricky, but you want to make sure you have a good base coat on. So when you do blend, there we go. when you do blend, the underneath colors blend well with it, because sometimes when you blend, it goes down and you kind of erase. So this is going to work. And this one's a little darker over here too, so we'll do this here. And it's okay if you want to take it, you can actually go down into the rice paper so it looks like it's part of it. It was meant to be. That way you don't see such a line in your rice paper. And there. And of course, I'm going to go down here right where I tore it. I'm going to go ahead and just go along all the edge here. Now, some of this is a lighter gray, and when I put my second coat on, when I'm blending, I will be adding some of these other colors. This is just, again, the base coat. This is the boring coat, but the necessary coat. This is why it didn't matter that this side of the paper was a little bit shorter than that side, because I was going to blend it anyway. So I can still come in and put some of this in. I definitely you want to make sure you see the clock. Now, when I first did this, I told you that I had white background here. It was thicker here because the decoupage the rice papers tend to be brighter if you put a bright color underneath it. So that's why I kept it white. If I wanted her to be a little bit more dark and mysterious, I would have painted it black underneath so she was a little bit darker. But I like the white. I want her to stick out because a lot of this will all be dark. Even though I have this as the lemonade color right now, this is all gonna be black. I'm gonna highlight with some gold gilding wax and a lot of other fun things, but I have to do the setup first. I'm gonna go ahead and paint her. I love her. I'm painting her black. The whole thing will be black, and then it'll fade into the yellows and the creams. Because there's so many details, instead of painting, it's easier to stipple it and then go back and just kind of lightly paint it. But you definitely want to make sure you get in every little crack and crevice. That's why sometimes it's easier to paint ahead of time. But this oval small brush is perfect for it because it's got a round shape and just gets in and gets a lot here. Wow, she has so many details that once we highlight her with some, let's say, probably, I can see copper in here and gold, all the different color gilding waxes. It's going to be pretty, or I hope. How long have I been going? Oh, okay. And if you notice where the black and the yellow are kind of touching, they're mixing, which is okay because thank you. I'll have to show you a close-up of her all painted before we put all the fun stuff on. She'll get another coat just because I want to make sure that she has got good coverage. And make sure I get up at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the little medallion on the bottom too. Let me pull this out, so let's see if we can get, how's that? Like at the bottom, kind of? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing with this large medallion down here. I'm just going to stipple it, pounce it, whatever you want to call it. Also can go in circles. That way you make sure you get This one's very detailed and intricate, so you can make sure you get all of the parts. I'm also making sure I get the back too, the part of the wardrobe. This is just a base layer. The wood bands are going to be all decorated with different gilding waxes. Inevitably, I'll end up missing a little spot, and I just go back and I get it later. So I'm using, it's a black. It's called Midnight Sky by Dixie Belle, but it's not the blackest black. This is actually the shade lighter than the black. The blackest black is a caviar. So by the time I get to the bottom, in the very, around the cherub will be caviar. It'll all be blended together. They're pretty similar in color. Okay, the wood band's covered pretty good. I just want to go back and make sure that I went all the way through. I guess I could have painted the black on first before I put the wood band on, but I don't mind doing it like this. Again, if you're a painter or an artist or you're becoming one, you tend to kind of do things the way you want. There's several ways to do it. You just kind of go with what you feel like at that moment or how you like to do it. Okay, so there's that. And this will all be blended too. These two colors will be blended, but you will not see that stark line. I'm just going to go ahead and get a little bit around there. This again is still just the base coat. I don't know if you can hear the music, but I apologize in advance because I am a singer, and when I start to sing the songs. Get this side over here. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom because it's not on the screen. I'll do that off camera. That way you don't have to watch me. When this is done, I'm going to take a picture of exactly what we did today, and you can see. And then when we go and do the rest of it, the more blending, the more layering, you'll see how it transforms. Because sometimes, like when you're in the middle of a project, you look at it, you're like, whoa, that is not looking so good. But as you spend more time on it, you do more with it, it's a good word for it. It matures, it becomes beautiful. I'll go ahead and do this up here too. Again, this is just the base coat. Yes, I'll be doing the sides. I'm just not going to do it on camera right here. Okay. This will help me plan the blending just by having just this back coat on. I'll probably be using about 6 different colors, about 2 different color regular waxes, and about 3 different gilding waxes. So, oh, I'll post for you. Thank you. So Teresa, you wanted to see what it looked like before? It was a light tan. And I do have pictures of it. And of course, I'm going to go from start to finish with pictures on here. I just missed a little bit on her. So I'm going back and I'm just making sure. I want to make sure I have a good, even first coat on here. All right, let me step back. Yeah, it looks like a hot mess right now, but she's going to end up looking like a beautiful queen, or a beautiful angel, I should say, because She is an angel. Um, I don't know if you could tell in the picture, but she's holding a clock. She's got a tear in her eye, and she has beautiful wings back here. This is one of the most beautiful papers I've ever seen in the rice paper. This is the Gothic Angel by Decoupage Queen. I sell them here in my store, and there's a lot of local retailers all around the world that carry these papers. So if you're interested in them, just Google Decoupage Queen.
Now the fun begins. I'm going to start blending the different colors. I'm choosing the colors that are in the rice paper. I'm making sure that I add some of the colors into the rice paper so it looks more blended and part of the actual wardrobe. Now it's time for dark wax for dimension. Now this is my favorite part, adding the gold gilding wax. I felt this piece needed a little bit more up at the top by the cherub, so I chose to add another would you bend.